then the second thing is that it's because it's a cross-functional sort of group of people, you get to go through a bonding experience with people from different parts of the department. And then finally, it's actually very useful to screen out people who are not interested in providing great service. So we've had engineers who think that this kind of work is beneath them. They shouldn't have to go through this process. Well, imagine if they're not willing to provide great service to our customers, are they going to provide great customer service to our internal customers? Probably not. And so we don't hire those people. It's a good way to screen them out. The other thing is we offer people $2,000 to quit in the training process, and it started out with a few $100s, and it was really hard to get through legal and HR because they're asking us, well, why are we spending money to get rid of people who don't want to be here? And that's a good question, but if you're really, really good at interviewing, you're probably right 60% of the time, which still means 40% of the time you allow people in that is not good for the company, and we just want a way for people to gracefully exit. And even for $2,000, it's probably not high enough because last year less than 1% of the people took the offer, so you still have 39% that we have to figure out. So maybe we should raise the offer. Finally, culture book. Every year we ask all of our employees to write a paragraph or two about what the culture means to them. And the reason we do this is the culture is not what the CEO says or senior management says. It's really what all the employees say. And so we basically compile all the sort of responses from all of our employees, except for typos. We don't edit it, and we put it in a book. And it's a great way to sort of look through the years how the culture has evolved and changed, how one department's culture is slightly different than the other, what people value in our corporate culture. We're in the process of sort of thinking through what we want to own, and we want to own the 3 C's. A lot of people know us as a shoe company, and so if you know us as a shoe company or if you've never shopped with us before, we actually want you to think of Zappos as a clothing company. And part of the reason is we're getting into clothing. It's 4 times the footwear market. It's just a very, very big market in the US. And so that's the first thing that we want you to get if you've never shopped with us before. If you've had a few experiences of shopping with us, hopefully you see that we provide very, very good customer service. And so after you see that, we want you to understand that the sort of customer service comes from our culture. So, this is some of our TV advertising and our ads for clothing. These are some of our representatives in our call center. And these are examples of our culture events that are a little wacky. That's another reason for the $2,000 to quit, because Zappos is probably not for everyone because we are a little weird. So ultimately, what we're trying to do is deliver happiness. And this was inspired by a customer who wrote in and said, look, Zappos is really happiness in a box. And whether it's the happiness of opening up a box and getting the perfect outfit or the perfect pair of shoes or handbag, or it's the happiness that we deliver to our employees by creating a great company culture, that's ultimately what we're about. And so we thought about this as something that we should really ponder and sort of move on in the coming years. Because we're trying to build something that's great, that's long-lasting. It's not built to flip, it's built to last, and we want to create a great company. These 2 books, one by Good to Great by Jim Collins and Tribal Leadership, both talk about the need to do certain things if you want to build a great company, and one of them is to build a great company culture. And so the pictures are examples of our culture books, but when we talk about the culture, we talk about committable core values. You're willing to hire and fire against those values, and it's not just a plaque on the wall. You actually believe in those values. And so went through a process of coming up with what the Zappos core values should be. In 2005, our CEO, Tony, sent out an email to the whole company and asked them, what do you think the culture, the core values and the culture should be? It shouldn't just come top down on what his values are. He asked the whole employee base. We got a lot of answers. We started out with about 37, 38 core values. We combined, condensed, and put them down to these 10 core values.